Procurement team in Menarini Asia Pac partners very closely with its internal stakeholders and tailors the engagement depending upon different factors. For low risk, less complex projects, the engagement is streamlined and standard. The existing templates are used for getting the requirements, drafting the tender briefs, evaluation, etc. Updates to stakeholders are less frequent. It could be to a lesser audience and could be via emails as well. However, for high risk or highly complex projects, the approach has to be tailored accordingly. So we usually start with a stakeholder mapping exercise to understand the different stakeholders, their interests, influence, and impact to the project. We form a steering committee which comprises of different stakeholders, which could be senior, and who are the key sponsors to the project. We have a cross-functional team which forms the main project team to drive the different tasks related to the project. We then develop the communication plan, which is tailored to these different groups of stakeholders. Now, stakeholders can be of different types. You have internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. You could have seniority, different levels of seniority. So we cannot have a one-size-fits-all type of an engagement strategy. So if you are talking to a senior stakeholder, it would have to be a very brief update. Whereas if you're talking to someone at an operational level, you would have to provide more details. If you're talking to somebody from finance, you explain the financial impacts or the business case of the project. You're talking to somebody from IT, you would be more interested in communicating system security, access, and controls. And therefore, it is very important for procurement to identify who we are speaking to and thereby convey the right message to the right people at the right time. Okay. I believe the following factors contribute to the improved collaborative spirit working within procurement in my company. We have very high ethical standards and values in managing the procurement processes, and we place a lot of importance in doing the right thing the right way. And these standards are imbibed in every person across the different functions in the organization. Secondly, there is transparency and open communication between the different functions. Procurement has visibility in the different department budgets, the forecasts, and we are involved at a very early stage in most of the important strategic projects which are above thresholds. Nobody feels threatened by sharing information with procurement, and nobody is protective of their turf. So in a sense, we are all part of the same company and we work towards the same goals. Thirdly, senior management support and sponsorship and championing of the procurement function is very important. And I believe that has been very instrumental in giving us a platform to present our projects and our achievements in the multiple forums. We have financial metrics like cash, savings / margin improvement, supplier security, which are tied to the business goals. So procurement is not viewed as just an operational function. Procurement is also involved in decision making or awarding of the suppliers for the key projects. And this I say because we are not just responsible for admin tasks like rolling out RFPs and tenders or just collating documents or responses. We also take part in the decision-making process. Now, all of this was not achieved overnight. Of course, it took a lot of time to build the team bonding. And the advice that I would give to all the companies is, A, give procurement a seat on the table to ask them to be able to provide more insights and more value to the business. Secondly, I think a strong partnering or team bonding is very important, and this can be built through different team bonding events or trainings that the company can set up for the different functions. Okay. A strong relationship with our stakeholders like supply chain, finance, marketing has helped us to build a process that identifies risks at an early stage and on an ongoing basis. So for instance, procurement and supply chain teams within Menarini Asia, we meet on a weekly basis to exchange information on supply chain topics and suppliers, key delays, risks, forecasts, etc. We get information on the forecast and the strategic products in our portfolio from finance and marketing. We evaluate the back-end supply chains of these products and identify the risks like single source, single country, logistics risks, etc. and we then decide on the risk mitigation ideas. Now, some examples that I could think of: single source. So if we are sourcing a key ingredient for a key strategic product from a single supplier, we obviously look at different strategies like building stock locally, supplier diversification, looking at different geographies. An instance also that I can think of, a single country risk, was when we were sourcing a packaging tube for one of our key products from a supplier in China. Now, having gone through COVID, we all know the risks associated with China and the logistics out of China. So then we looked at looking at packaging suppliers nearer to our manufacturing location. So we spread the risks, and we move out of China slowly, but in a structured way. So these are some of the examples that we put forward to basically proactively identify risks. And we also have annual business review meetings with our key strategic suppliers, and we involve our business stakeholders in these business review meetings. We exchange information from our side, where is our business heading to, what are our forecasts, what are the key innovative ideas that we could bring to the table. Similarly, from the supplier side, if they foresee any blockages or any constraints in future, any capacity issues, this is the information that is shared at these review meetings, which helps us as well to plan ahead of time. Okay, there are a lot of buzzwords that I hear, and this is not really new. Some of these terms have been in the market for quite some time. But I think some of the few trends that really will impact the way I work in my organization going forward, to list a few. Firstly, robotic process automation. The RPA has been around for quite some time, but it's not been used to its fullest potential. And therefore, I think this is something that I definitely would want to explore in future, to automate routine procurement tasks and to help free up the time of procurement to focus on strategic activities, which can thereby add value to stakeholders. Secondly, predictive analytics, which could help the team to anticipate demands, identify trends, look at detecting potential risks before they become critical issues. Spend analytics, of course, has also been around for quite some time, but again, I would want to use this more meaningfully to provide insights into spending patterns and use AI in spend analytics to basically identify cost savings opportunities and areas for process improvements. Smart contracting, again, which will help to reduce the turnaround time especially for contracting, when predefined conditions are met. Then we do have chatbots and virtual assistants, which could help us, to guide the users in the procurement processes. ESG, again, a very heard of buzzword, which again will definitely play an impact in the role that I play. And I would want to look at the different tools or systems that are available, which will help me improve the diversity and inclusion of my suppliers, or the policy, and of course the carbon emissions. And last but not the least, I think the different tools which are available around source to contract, around supplier relationship management, these are some of the things which I definitely would want to look at in future. ProcureCon is one of the biggest congregations of the best procurement professionals across different industries. For me, this is a very rewarding experience because I get to meet like-minded peers from the different industries. I get to exchange ideas. I get to know the challenges and how they overcome it. I get to meet a lot of new suppliers from using different technologies. I've heard a lot about AI today, so for me this has been a very enriching experience and has definitely triggered a lot of ideas in my mind on how I can go back to work and propose some of these ideas, which can then help me in better business partnering and adding value to the business. So I think thank you for letting me be part of this great event.